Hello, my name is Rose Milam, and I'm the founder and director of the CAK Connection, which also happens to be my capstone. When I was a freshman, however, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do for my capstone. I didn't know what I wanted to do for a career, so I didn't know how I was supposed to decide what I wanted to do for my capstone, which I thought connected with my career. But I did know three things that I wanted to do. I wanted to do something that was sort of local in the community. I wanted to do something that affected people, and I wanted to do something that was sort of out of the box. Internships and volunteer stuff isn't bad. I just don't like going the conventional route most of the time. So I didn't really know what I was going to do still until Spiritual Emphasis Week of my junior year, when Andrew Asakwe, this man up here, he came and talked to us during Spiritual Emphasis Week. But rather than talk a lot, he more asked the students to share where they saw brokenness in the school. And as people kept sharing different things, I kept thinking, man, I wish there was something I could do about this. And it was then that the Lord just gave me an epiphany of what I could do, what organization I could create, which turned out to be the CAK Connection, to sort of help bring unity and God back into focus at CAK. And so I went to Miss New to tell her about my idea, and that's how I got started. The CAK Connection has 4 parts: the prayer, chapel, lunch, and administration connections. The prayer connection is a way for students to feel a more intimate prayer life at CAK rather than just the teachers praying generally over the students or maybe students praying over students. The prayer request boxes, which are these right here, are throughout the school, and they allow students to submit prayer requests, sometimes anonymously, for other students in the prayer connection to pray over them, and I'm hoping to include teachers in that. The chapel connection is a way for students to give their input on chapels, and we recently did a chapel poll where we had the student body vote on which ideas that the chapel connection members had come up with to see which one they would be most interested in seeing, and hopefully in a couple of months I will get to see one of those chapels come to life. The lunch connection is a way for students to maybe meet people or talk with people they haven't seen very often or they haven't met before. And we are going to create every day, not every day, but once a week at lunch, we're going to have what we're going to call lunch meet, which is a pun, for a meet and greet for students to talk with people they might not have seen before or met before, to sort of make a more unified student body. And I'm hoping to include teachers in that as well. The administration connection is a way for students to sort of take control of things that they see that they may want to be changed instead of being shy or just merely like complaining about it to their friends. If they submit a request of a way that they see things could be done better at the school, or a suggestion that they would like something added or taken away, they can submit a request to the administration connection, who would look over that with the administration. And the administration connection members would also get to sit in perhaps with the administration when they're making decisions that directly involve the students. And unfortunately, I haven't gotten the administration connection started as much as I would have liked. I wished I could have had all of these up and running by my senior year, which was one of my expectations that did not pan out as expected. I was really hoping to get it done by senior year and have it running even though I just started in the spring, because I wanted to see how this could work through the school, but that didn't happen. My summer ended up being a lot more busy than I had expected, so I've had to deal with that. Another expectation that I had was I expected to do this with just 1 or 2 of my friends, and when I went and presented this to Miss New, she said, "You're going to have a bunch of people with each of these connections, right?" And I was like, I will now. I didn't think of that. But I've also had to adapt to that expectation working with a lot of other people. One of the fears that I had, though, I was sort of afraid that the student body wouldn't accept my capstone. They would just shove it off, ignore it, or they would think it was stupid. And I was afraid of that because then the CAK connection wouldn't have the impact I had planned for it or I'd wanted. But I just really had to learn to trust the Lord and His plan throughout my capstone experience, which is one of the things that I have learned through this. I really the CAK connection has helped me learn, and God working through that and through me, that it really doesn't matter what other people think, or even sometimes what I planned. The Lord's plan will prevail, and what he planned will work out just how we wanted it, and that's the best way. And I really had to learn that through the CAK connection, and I'm so glad that I did, because it's also leaked into other aspects of my life, my schoolwork, my planning for college and all that stress. Instead of worrying about it, just lifting it up to the Lord has really helped me. And I'm glad to see how this is like leaked into other aspects of my life as well. All those ways that the CAK connection impacted me, of all of them, the most important thing that I learned is compromise. And this lady right here is Sarah Beth Johnson. She's a junior here at CAK, and she has helped me a lot with my chapel connection. She has given me so many ideas and helped keep me on track and a bunch of other stuff. But sometimes I didn't always like her ideas, and I had to learn to compromise with her ideas, because sometimes I'm so glad I did, because they worked out much better than anything that I wanted to do. And I'm grateful to her for her help through this, and that I'm also happy that I learned to compromise, because I think that the chapel connection and CAK connection has improved a lot because of that. All that being said, I don't think I would really change much about my capstone, mostly because, as I said, I learned that God's plan is the best plan, and that really, I learned a lot through that, and I think that I wouldn't change things because of that. However, if I did have to change one thing, I think it would be, I wish I had started earlier. I wish I had thought of the idea earlier, because, as I said, I wanted it up and running by my senior year, but that didn't happen, and I'm really disappointed about that. However, I have learned through this that I really enjoy watching people come together, watching people become unified under an idea, under the Lord. And I really hope that I can find a way to be involved in that in college, in my career, even though it may not directly involve that. I hope to see that that I can find a way to bring people together in whatever job or college or career path I choose, and to see the way that God influences them and brings him back into focus wherever I go. That being said, thank you for listening to my capstone presentation. I hope this inspires you to think outside of the box, or find a way to bring people together in some way, as I did.